The following is a presentation of TFNN. Time to talk about your health. Living a primal lifestyle.
You know, we have Tom from Tampa on the phone. Hey, Tom. Good morning. It's bright and early now, huh?
Hey, thanks. Good.
Hi, Tom.
How you guys doing, Nico?
Doing great.
Good. Hey, your newsletter's outstanding, man. I'm telling you, man, it is outstanding. And so is the Primal Edge. I love that stuff. I'd never be without it. I mean, I've been on it now 3-4 months, man. I mean, it's just, I can't get over how good I feel.
Primal Edge is, people are raving about it. People who are trying it, they know because you can feel it.
Would not be without it.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now your hosts, Nico Haan and Paige Clarke.
Well, good morning. I am Paige Clarke, and welcome to Living a Primal Lifestyle, where we explore a return to a more balanced, natural, and wild world.
To recover our natural health and regain our rights and freedoms, and I'm Nico Haan.
And it is a beautiful day in downtown Clearwater. Spring has sprung, 65 degrees, and we hope you're having nice weather where you are. And we're hoping that you'll subscribe to our Health Signals newsletter and pick up some of our Primal Edge daily nutrition. Nico, you got some special stuff to tell them about?
Yeah, I sure do. You know, we started we got a lot of calls for doing our little promotion again for the Primal Edge, and throughout the rest of the month, we're going to take $25 off the first bottle of the Primal Edge. Just go to the website here. You can see it right on the front page, and you'll receive that first bottle with $25 off, and the rest of them will be $89 a month. And you'll be getting something that is really, really good for you, because this holds 310 organic ingredients, and they're powered by humic and fulvic acid, which are nature's delivery system. So please pick that up. We had a lot of really good response. I was on the Tom O'Brien show last night.
That's what I heard, yeah.
So we got it just a short time we can do this, so just for the next 2 weeks, this week, next week. That's it, folks.
And for people who are already getting it, they can use this as an opportunity to get a bottle with a greater
Get
discount.
an extra bottle. You're already getting a subscription every month for the Primal Edge. You can get an extra bottle, which is really handy. If you're not feeling well, take that extra one. Or maybe you want to gift it to somebody else, turn them on, so to speak.
That sounds great.
And our number here, of course, is 877-927-6648.
Very good. And we're so lucky to have Dr. David Minkoff back in the studio this morning. Thank you for
Welcome back.
Being an early bird and joining us here in the studio.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, of course, last week we had Dr. Springer on. Mm-hmm. And I was just kind of wondering the story behind how you two met.
We met because my son, this was about 25 years ago.
Okay.
He was 14 years old. He was getting up in the middle of the night with hip pain, and he would limp around, and I would get up with him. I had no idea what was wrong with him. I was an emergency room doctor at the time. And finally we heard about Dr. Springer and went over to his house, and he did some razzle-dazzle voodoo diagnostics.
Magic stuff?
Yeah, he's laying on the table, and he's pushing his arm, and he's doing this, and he's doing that, and he says, he's got a yeast infection in his gut, and the yeast toxins are bothering his hip. And here, take these 3 things, and he should be okay.
and that was the beginning of a long-term friendship.
Yeah, and it worked. His hip pain went away. He was fine. And a few years later, he was looking to get back into medicine. He's an inventor, and he did some very interesting things with acupressure. And he started working in our clinic since 2002, and he's been part of us ever since.
Yes,
cool.
You guys are a great team and a great practice. Dr. Minkoff has LifeWorks Wellness Center in Clearwater, Florida. People travel all over the world to be part of your innovative, integrative health clinic.
Thank you.
And we had a lot of calls of people saying they enjoyed seeing you and having the doc in the studio, and we like doing that because Nico and I, this is a news show, and we like to, like Nico says, deconstruct the news.
Yep.
You know, put our opinion in. We're not here to treat, diagnose, or anything, but we want to share information about optimal health and peak performance, and that's what living a primal lifestyle really is.
Right.
And today my goal is to bring our listeners up to speed on the different products you have. It's very curious to me when a physician can have access to all the technologies and products. When you produce your own, there's a passion behind it.
Right.
You know, there's a reason that you say, wow, people need this. I need to make this available to my patients. I want to make sure I can get the best ingredients. So I like to kind of introduce the rest of the Body Health line to the people. And Nico and I are always about positive aging in a natural way, in a primal way. And I found some information on amino acids and their significance for anti-aging.
Right.
I believe that many people, when we say the word amino acids, they naturally think of bodybuilders, don't you think?
Yeah, I think so. That's the first thing I thought of. And I've never taken any aminos, but since talking to you and Dr. Springer last, I kind of changing my mind and maybe thinking about doing something at my age probably wouldn't hurt me at all.
Yeah, it would help you.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Well, and that's what we're finding out, amino acids, and we'll maybe just start diving in there a little bit about amino acids and anti-aging. I mean, they're very significant in the areas of anti-aging, arthritis and joint issues, osteoporosis, even for managing cholesterol. I found that interesting. Diabetes, fat burning, hair regeneration. Obviously, if we need to build something, we need the building blocks.
Right.
Menopause, sleep and mood, vitality, and libido.
Let's go into the history.
What else is there?
I was wanting to go into the history of the amino acids a little bit, when people started using them and why. And like Paige said, we use them for bodybuilding and things, but when did it become a little bit more mainstream in your eyes, Doctor?
Well, I think that the way to look at it is that there's sort of 4 things that a body has to have in order to work or in order to be built. Mm-hmm. So one of those 4 things is amino acids, and then essential fats, vitamins, minerals, water.
Like it.
So if we just take one part away, you can't take any parts away or it won't work.
Yeah, they're all critical building blocks.
Right. Mm-hmm. But if you look at amino acids, they think that bodies evolved. You know, if you believe that there was a big pool and somehow accidentally things got together, or even as with the creation that things got together, that you had to start with things that were very simple and build things that were more complex. And the building block of all biochemistry is our enzymes. So
the power to do work.
Yes. And so enzymes are proteins. They're mixtures of amino acids. And what they do is, if you can imagine a room, say, this big, and you have things floating around all over that have to sort of get together and combine, that the chances of them getting together would be very low. If you have a nitrogen up here and a carbon over here and something else over there, the chances that they would get together at the right moment at the right time and combine with 5 other things would be like 0. But if you have sort of a template, if you have like a nitrogen sticks on here and carbon sticks on here and hydrogen sticks on here, that's what an enzyme is. It's a structure, it's a protein structure that allows these things to be in proximity near each other so that they can combine and form something else.
So they're attracted to each other in a sense?
Right.
Okay.
And they're put in so that they can react with each other. They can interact, and then they can combine something into something that's new. So enzymes are required for all basic body reactions. So to detoxify, you need enzymes that do that.
Okay, well, let's leave it here. We're going on a break here. So we're here with Dr. Minkoff. I'd like to remind you to pick up my Health Sickness newsletter. A great article on our human being solar powered. And there's a great TED Talk associated with that. So please pick that up, and we'll be right back.
Be right back.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Nico and Paige take your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
And welcome back to the show. I'd like to remind you, of course, that we have our spring sale for the Primal Edge. So please pick that up. And we're talking about amino acids here, and that we have lots of amino acids, all the essential ones right in the Primal Edge here. So please pick that up. So David Minkoff, we were talking to you about the history of the amino acids, and you were explaining how they kind of attract each other and formulate a bond. Let's go on from there.
So the difference between an amino acid and a fat and a carbohydrate, in Greek, amino means nitrogen. So carbohydrates and fats are made up of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen in different structures. And amino acids are carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, plus nitrogen. And in a couple of instances, sulfur. So so these amino acids are required as basic building blocks for the body, for all proteins, and basically for all enzymes. So if you're going to build muscle, you need enzymes. Plus you need the amino acids themselves, which are what the muscle's made out of.
Okay.
And so when you put together amino acids, you make proteins. And there's 22 amino acids in nature that our bodies are made up of. 8 of those are called essential because we can't make them. We have to get them from our food or from supplementation. The other 14 can be made if you have the basic 8. And so some proteins are very simple, like thyroid hormone is sort of the most simple protein. It's an amino acid with some iodine on it. Glutathione is a very simple protein. It's only got 3 amino acids. And if you put those 3 together, glycine, glutamate, and cysteine, you get glutathione, which is used for detoxification. It's an antioxidant. But some proteins are really long, like say insulin. I think it's 89 amino acids in a different sequence. And skeletal muscle is something like 455 amino acids. So these things have to all be assembled. You need basically enzymes to get these things lined up. And then if you're going to build a structure that's one muscle fiber, 455 amino acids. So you have to have them all available at the time because it's kind of like beads on a string. So you say, okay, I need amino acid number 1, put it on the string. Number 2, put it on the string, and then you build this long chain and you end up with muscle or insulin or growth hormone or bone, collagen, hair, immune cells. And if you have that, you can build it. But what if your amino acid levels in your blood are too low because you're either not eating them or you're
digesting them.
Yeah, and to digest you need enzymes to break down these proteins. Okay. And then you need a lining of your intestine that's going to be able to pull them in. And then you need proteins to be able to transport them to where they go. So these are all things that have to happen if you're going to have them. And what we found is just all chronically ill people have low amino acids in their blood. And most people have low amino acids in their blood compared to what they should have. And so their body function isn't optimal.
If you don't have the raw materials, how are you going to build the best body?
That's right.
So what I hear you saying then everything is really tied to what we're taking in other words, our food.
And how we digest it.
And how we digest it.
Right.
Those two factors is really what makes us healthy or unhealthy, I would say.
Right, because that's how it gets built. I mean, you had to eat and then you had to get it in. And today there's big challenges on just food quality. You know, food is not the quality that it was 50 or 100 years ago, right. You know, with mineral deficiencies and vitamin deficiencies and grown in soils that are artificially fertilized. So that's a challenge. The other challenge is most people have probably Dr. Springer talked about it last week, is their gut's no good.
Yeah.
They've got yeast and parasites and mucus and problems with digestion and problems with absorption, and the membrane isn't right, and they just don't get them in.
They're actually, what's happening, it's being overwhelmed with so much bad stuff that it really can't get it together, is what I hear you saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a real problem. Yeah.
And that digestive fire is just not there due to the leaky gut.
Yeah.
Probably we didn't see that so much in young people, but amino acid supplementation seems crucial for people over a certain age because they're just many times don't have that enzyme sufficiency. But what you're saying is due to leaky gut and due to poor products that we're putting in the first place, you're just seeing when you do the functional blood test, you're seeing low amino acids, low body proteins, which means they're not getting enough, and you're seeing tremendous results when people get the proper amino acids.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of things, like if you just look at osteoporosis, it's a huge problem, okay? Mm-hmm. Millions and millions, especially women, but men too, have osteoporosis, and what's being pushed is take calcium, take calcium, take calcium, and you need calcium, but you also, the bone is made of two things. One is collagen, which is a protein,
right.
Okay? And if the collagen's not there, then calcium and phosphorus have nothing to bind onto. So it's kind of like an old plaster wall, you know, like a lath and plaster. You have these wood plaques, and then you put the plaster on top and it sticks. But if the protein isn't there, if the collagen's not there, you can take calcium all day and vitamin D all day and estrogen and minerals and all the rest of the stuff that do help with bone. But if the protein isn't there, if the collagen basic structure isn't there, it doesn't stick.
It's kind of like a primer for the paint.
Yeah, it's a basis for the structure.
Right.
So if you're going to build a house, you need a frame,
right.
And then you can put stuff on top of it, and this is the frame.
That makes a lot of sense.
And what we find is that the structure's not there. Bone, if you take bone and you break it apart, 50% of it is collagen and 50% is mineral. And what we find with people is we can make sure they get enough amino acids and they get the right stressors on their body, you know, weightlifting and induced exercise or power plate or things like this, and they have vitamin D and their hormone levels are okay, that then they have a mineral source, that they will then make bone. You know, this isn't an inherited thing. This isn't a who knows what people come up with. It isn't a calcium deficiency.
No,
it's more often an amino acid deficiency. And when you put all these things together, then you do a bone density in 6 months, and it's coming up. Or we have a lab test. We can tell when bone's being lost too fast because the protein in the bone starts to show up in the urine. And we can tell within a month if you're on the right program because you stop dumping this bone protein in your urine, and all of a sudden now you're not doing it. That means that you're now making bone and you're not losing bone. So that would be one example. But for ordinary people, Amino acids are, when people take Perfect Amino, one of the complaints I hear from women is, I have to go to my hairdresser now every 4 weeks instead of 6 weeks because my hair's growing again.
Oh, that's a real bad
fast.
problem.
Right.
Give me that problem all day long. I think that's great.
Right, and so keratin is protein. That's what hair's made out of. It's what nails are made out of. So people say, gee, my nails are growing now.
Keratin and collagen, because I think that's, how would you describe it? It's just a different form of the protein. They work together?
Let's hold that till after the break, because
Okay.
we're going on a break here, and I do want to mention that we do have our special spring sale here on the Primal Edge. $25 off the first bottle. This is, I'm telling you, when I started taking this, I felt completely different. And really what I did was I did away with all those pills that I had, spending $300-400 a month on. This $89 covers it all, but now we have a break of $25. So pick that up, please, and we'll be back in a minute with Dr. David Minkoff.
Would like to tell you about the personal training studio that Nico is the owner and president of, Performance Training. Since 1998, Nico has trained individuals and groups to improve their health both mentally and physically. As a certified personal trainer, Nico's main focus is on demonstrating exercises correctly to avoid injury and teaching his clients how to manage their past injuries while getting the most out of their personal training sessions. The Performance Training Studio is filled with unique training equipment that enhances balanced results at a faster rate while minimizing damage and discomfort. For more information, you can give Nico a call at 727-418-8740 or email him at nico@tfnn.com. Let him know you heard him on TFNN and save up to $100 on a special package just for TFNN listeners. Act today.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And welcome back. We're talking to Dr. David Minkoff. We were talking before we went on the break about, you were clarifying for me, collagen and keratin as it relates to building a better body, specifically maybe in the area of beauty. But explain what you were saying.
Well, so they're two different proteins.
Right.
But, some people say, well, I'm going to take collagen because the collagen then is going to build up my tendons, muscles, hair, lift up my face. As if you could just take that and then the body's just going to take it and then it's just going to put it there. But it doesn't work that way. When it comes in, it's going to get broken down into amino acids. And then they can be absorbed because the collagen's too big, the keratin's too big, it won't get through. And if it did get through, your body would make an allergic reaction to it because it's a foreign protein. You know, it isn't human collagen.
That's true.
It's beef, you know, it's horse hoof
or fish. From fish
or whatever.
Chicken legs.
Yeah.
Chicken legs, yeah. So it has to all get broken down into individual amino acids. Then they have to be absorbed. Then they will go in as amino acids, and then if the body feels like making hair out of it, it will. Or if it has to make new heart cells or new enzymes or new neurotransmitters or new immune cells, it'll do that.
Hopefully the body's prioritizing these things. So many times if you have poor hair, you can be assured that most likely you're deficient in amino acids and your body's taking the ones that they do have and hopefully making a better heart.
Right. And the problem for most people is if we look at their amino acid profile in their blood and they have low amino acids or some low amino acids, then the body then usually has a backlog of things that it has to repair that it hasn't been able to do it because it didn't have them. So here's like an example. So the 22 amino acids. So let's say you have a steak or you take some collagen protein and it goes to the cell, and let's say it's a muscle cell, and the muscle cell says, okay, I need to make more muscle. And it's 455 units of these 22 in different orders. And it says, okay, I need a number 1, good, check, number 1 is there. It's almost like beads on a string. I put that on there. Okay, I need a number 6. Number 6 is there, good, put it on the string. I need a number 4.
Not there.
Oh, not there. Oh, what's going to happen to this? Nothing. It's not going to get built.
Right.
Okay? So now you have a backlog. Now, the guy is, now that's one cell. There's 150 trillion cells in the body.
See, this is a great visual for our listeners, I think.
Okay, so now the pancreas needs to make enzymes so it'll digest the next protein. It's got the same problem. And your immune cells have the same problem. And like last weekend, I did a triathlon. So I know that all my tendons, muscles, heart, everything is screaming, recovery, recovery, recovery. We need amino acids. We need all these things to build it. And if I didn't supplement with extra perfect amino during and after the race and for a couple days after, what would happen is those things would make the most noise. All the protein I ate would go to those. My immune cells, which need proteins to stay up, would go down. And it's very common if you hear people who do hard training, do races, they do a marathon, they get sick the next week. Why do they get sick? Because their immune system drops. Because the muscles and tendons and other things that are now needing repair from the hard effort need that first, and they get priority, and the guy gets sick. So what I did, I finished the race, I took 10 grams of perfect amino. Before I went to bed, I conducted 10 grams, and I did it for 3 more days, extra, extra, extra. I didn't get sick, I'm not sore, everything's recovered because the body can keep up and with its needs because you provided it. If you hadn't provided it, it would have gone through its cycle and then it sort of makes do.
Have to figure out who's going to get the supplies, right?
Yeah.
So your body does prioritize itself to the essential things that have to.
Well, let's hope so. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here, right? You know.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and it does it on, and I don't know if it always does it the right way. Okay.
Well, that would be dependent on the signaling and the health of those.
Yeah,
things that
super complex.
Yeah, right.
You know, and a lot of people walking around, they're depressed, they can't sleep, they're anxious. Okay, huge problem for people.
Oh yes.
Well, all those things, the neurotransmitters, you know, tryptophan and serotonin and GABA and dopamine, these are all made out of amino acids. So if you're low in those, your symptom of low amino acids might be you're anxious all the time or you're depressed. And sometimes people come in and say, you know, my life is really good. I make enough money, my family is good, I like my job, and I wake up in the morning with just like, I'm anxious. I'm like, something's wrong with me. This isn't normal for me. And we'll measure their neurotransmitters. And they're like, GABA's really low or serotonin's really low. And it ends up being they have a gut problem. They've got a parasite or yeast or something wrong. They're not digesting, absorbing their amino acids. And the symptom in them is they don't feel right. So, you know, some people, they'll work out. You may see this with some people. And then for 5 days, they're just like in pain because they can't turn it over and recover. They can't rebuild that stuff and recover. And with amino acids and other nutrients, because sometimes they're missing other things, they'll turn it around. Now I don't remember last time if I told you the story, the Tour de France story.
No, I don't think
Anyway, this is interesting. We have a minute?
We got a couple minutes.
Okay. So I have a patient who's the doctor for the glory years. He's a chiropractor, but he was their doctor for the glory years of Lance Armstrong. And the 7 years that they won the Tour, or that he won the Tour, he was the doctor for the team. And he's a very famous guy. He lives out in Los Angeles. And I was working with Perfect Amino, with the amino acids, and I was finding that in athletes and in myself, recovery was faster. So we had them, and the way that works is that they get everything possible that you could get legally, and some illegal things. I didn't know about the illegal things, but the legal things, you know, there's a medical doctor on staff. After each day of the Tour de France, they get an IV, they have their own chef, they get optimum nutrition. But what they found is that if you compared their bodies at day 1 of the Tour versus day 22 of the Tour, they were broken down, they all had tendinitis, their performance was down, and they're like limping to the finish. Okay? Yeah. So we supplied some Perfect Amino for them to take, a couple of the guys, during the Tour to see what would happen. So they took 10 grams, which is 10 tablets of the powder, 2 scoops, 3 times a day, in addition to the other things that they did. And what the doctor told me was they didn't break down. Wow. They were able to recover, and at the end, their performance was better than it was at the beginning because the training and the stress of the race actually made them stronger because they could recover from the stresses because they just needed more amino acids to get it done. And with the regular food and things that they were doing before, they weren't able to do it. Wow. So if you're an athlete or if you're a professional and the guys are beating you, chances are they're using Perfect Amino.
There you go.
It works. There's a lot of professional athletes that do because they feel the results. They just like, yes, I can build it more.
And we need these amino acids for health and for beauty because it's all an inside
beauty,
job.
I forgot.
So we're going to have to take a break here shortly. We'll get into that. And with women, we want to hear about that too.
Folks, please pick up a Health Signals newsletter. Right now, it starts off with the Better Water, and pick up our Primal Edge. Of course, we have a promotion going right now, $25 off the first bottle. Come and get it, folks. Number here is 877-927-6648. We'll be right back with Dr. David Minkoff. You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Well, there's certain, I mean, you need...
Welcome back, folks. We're talking to Dr. David Minkoff, and one of the questions I wanted to, we're talking a lot about the skin and the hair and the muscles and the bones. What about the brain?
Yeah, he was mentioning the neurotransmitters.
Yeah, so neurotransmitters, basic brain structure, is going to be amino acids too. I mean, one of the interesting things is if you take someone, say at age 20, and you do a complex body scan, so you look at their protein, the lean body mass amounts, okay? So it'd be bone, hair, skin, organs, muscles. Like lean body, muscles, lean body. And then you take them at 60, and the average person loses between 25 and 30% of their lean body mass between age 20 and 60. So they're shorter, their organs are smaller, their muscles are smaller. Somebody did an experiment at USC to ask, the question was, at 60, can you make lean body, like muscle, they were looking at muscle, as well as you could when you were 20? Is the mechanism there? You know, is this a malnutrition, malabsorption problem, or is it actually, do the things just not work as well? And what they gave people IV labeled amino acids to look at, could they take those amino acids in and make proteins? And they found that age 60 they could just as well as age 20, and that the problem is a malnutrition problem from either not enough right stuff, not digesting it, not absorbing it, not right stimulus.
Malnutrition, malabsorption.
Right. And that if you supplied the stuff, you could do it. Now, I don't know if you saw this Italian guy. This was a couple weeks ago. At 101 years old, he's a cyclist. He lives in Italy. At 101 years old, they had him do a test of how far could he ride a bike on an indoor track in an hour. How many miles could he go? And he rode 12 miles, okay? 101 years old. Now, he's 105 now. And they said, can you, at 105, build your fitness? Can you improve? Or are you just too old and it won't work? So they put him on a program for 6 months to help build up his nutrition. And they redid the test, put the clock on, rode around the track for an hour, and he did 15 miles, which is more than 3 miles more at 105 years old, which is more than most 50-year-olds could do, you know, just at that age. And they concluded that, yes, the body has that plasticity, it has that potential, that if you put the right stimuli in, and you provide the nutrients, that you can be more fitter now than you were before if you do the right thing. So there's no real ceiling on it. I mean, people are going to age, but you can get better. So, and you need amino acids, you need vitamins, minerals, you know, to do this.
How about Ernestine Shepherd, the world's oldest female bodybuilder? She's 80 years old, and she looks better than most women look ever.
Yep.
So is there a limit to the age? I mean, we're living right now in our 80s, 90s, and a lot of people probably of our generation may see 100. I had a dream years ago where I was living to 131, and I said, okay, that's cool, I like that, but I better start taking care of myself.
Right.
So I was always wondering, what can human beings actually target as a decent age for living if we start right off the bat eating well and our environment's good and we don't have all these pollutions? Can we live to 130, 140, 150? I mean, is that possible, do you think?
I think that with the stem cell things that are coming, that you're going to be able to regrow organs, redo things, and I don't know what the ceiling limit is.
We don't.
I think these are going to end up being sort of doll bodies. You need a new one of these, put it in tissue culture.
Well, that brings in the whole thing of the whole artificial intelligence and the fine line between, I've been reading a little bit about the autologous stem cells. They're removed from the bone marrow or the fat versus the homologous ones that are taken from embryos, and that they're neutral to the body. That appeals to me a little bit, but sure makes sense that our stem cells at 50 to 70 are not as cool and kicking it as our stem cells are, or our stem cells would be from a placenta or from a umbilical cord.
Right.
So I do think that one of my mentors said we were easily engineered to hit $120. We're supposed to be 120, and in
that
many
sounds
cultures,
very reasonable to me too. Yeah.
and many cultures in the world, the people do. We've got the Hunza people, but again, they're in fresh air. They're digesting their food. They've got good. They're eating enzymes-rich food, and they're achieving that.
Right.
And there's stories of people in China I learned from a Qigong teacher of mine, a man that ate goji berries, and he's on record to have lived to be 200 and something. We'll never know. We weren't around. But the whole thing is, however long we live, we want to live longer, healthier, right? We don't want to be dying longer. Or someone told me, oh, we're not living longer, we're just dying longer, meaning that we're sick, and that a lot of our people today are living in nursing homes or not optimal health and peak performance at all. Would you agree?
Yeah,
that's what we're all about. Is what can we do if we're going to be here? If we want to live a life full of joy and health and flourish, right?
Yes.
Well, I think the reason, segregating people that are older and segregating people that are younger, I think is the wrong path. Myself, I think living in family groups is optimal, and where you get the young and the old and everybody together. And I think just from a herd standpoint of herd immunity, those things we know are real. I think it's a better thing. But we're talking about the amino acids. So your amino acids, I have a picture of it right here, which is the perfect amino, $37.95. Is this a month's supply? Is that the idea?
I think if you took 5 a day, it would be a month's supply.
Okay.
I think that it's better to take 10 a day.
Okay.
Because you get a better benefit for people. These are tablets.
Especially active
These are
people.
tablets. Okay.
We
it
also
also
have the
comes
powder.
as the powder. I love the powder.
The powder is delicious. It's a lime flavored, and
you have packets here too, and you
Yep.
can buy them, of course. I think there's a group buy here where you can
Right.
pick up a dozen or
and we'll have to
half a
talk
dozen.
to Josh over there and get a little perk for our listeners, that they a code or something.
Yep.
If you do decide to try the perfect aminos. I love the lime because I'm trying to work on rebuilding hair and skin
Yep.
and all my muscles and heart. I want to make sure I've got it all, but I do think it's a great refreshing drink 'cause I like a lime flavor, so I enjoy having that as a pickup after exercise and so forth. So we'll have to do that. But the other thing, and maybe we can have a few moments, is I want to encourage people to visit bodyhealth.com, check out the products that Dr. Minkoff has done. Next segment, I'd like to talk about a few of the other things that you have, because it always impresses me when a doctor takes the time to formulate. It takes time to formulate products, to find good sources. Why? Why were you, you could have formulated a gazillion things. Why are the key products? We'll just touch on a few so people know that obviously you've got the body detox and healthy sleep. What were some of the motivations?
The first product we did it's called Metal Free.
Yeah, that's the one that I think is a great product for people to know about.
Yeah, because the environment's toxic. There's lots of metals. People are sick with it. My wife was sick. I needed to get a product that, and this was back in the middle 90s, there wasn't much available, not much was known. I worked with a biochemist to formulate this product. It's very unique. It's a sublingual. It's not a normal sort of chelator, which is things that take bad metals out of your body.
It's easy on the body.
Right.
Okay, let's
we'll
continue
take a
with this
break.
after the break. Number here still is 877-927-6648, and we'll be back for our last segment. Stick around, folks.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
No matter where you're listening to TFNN programming, you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones, iPads, and Android devices, located in the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can use your smartphone to view Tiger TV, but if you don't have a connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and call-in talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com. Educating investors. Join John Logan as he teaches you trading techniques utilizing the TAS Profile Scanner. The Global Market Pulse. Next on TFNN.
All right.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. We're opening, and here we are.
We are
Paige
here,
and Nico
folks.
with Dr. David Minkoff. We love having Dr. Minkoff in the office and all
I really
the
wanted to talk
group.
about the organic perfect greens, the superfood blend. Tell us about that.
Yeah, now greens have been around for a long time, and this is a third generation. It's all organic. This is the equivalent of 10 servings of fruits and vegetables. So
Tastes great too.
It tastes great. And most people don't get enough. You know, if you look at the dietary recommendations, in order to get enough antioxidants in your body to deal with the stressors, with the oxidative stressors in the environment, you're supposed to eat between 8 and 10 servings a day of fruits and vegetables in order to get these things in.
Well, that doesn't do a good job for insulin resistance. We talk about that all the time, you know.
Right.
For
And
some
so most people don't
fruits.
do it, even if they eat a lot of green vegetables. If they juice, it's one thing, but otherwise it's hard to get it in. And the levels of antioxidants in their bodies are low. And I actually measured this one time where every patient for a year, we measured their level of antioxidants. You can do it through the skin. These things are called carotenoids. They come from.
Hey, you have a
colored fruits
scanner
and
at the
vegetables.
office, or used to?
I used to have the scanner. I rented the scanner, or leased the scanner for a year because I wanted to see. And I knew that if you scan above 50, you have good levels of antioxidants. The average person was 18.
Wow.
No children were above 12.
That's scary.
Scary. So what we did, give them a scoop of perfect greens once a day with something. They can put it in water, they can put it in their smoothie, and they can adjust it on their food. And then we had them come back in a month and measure their levels, and everyone was above 50. So as a health point, it's really good. It tastes good, and we really need these things because these are the body's defenders. Plants make these things. You know, if you take a plant sitting in the sun, it has to deal with radiation 12 hours a day and the various stressors. And the way it does it is it makes these colored compounds, these carotenoids, these antioxidants, to defend itself so that the cells don't get damaged. And the same thing is needed by us. And the way we get them, because we don't make these things, is we get them from plants and fruits, and to some extent meats and fish and eggs. So this is a way to just make sure you get it so that if you want to live a long time and you want to be healthy, you need to have these things in your body, and it's an easy way to do it.
And I think that's a really great point because what we're really looking for in our plant foods is not necessarily the carbohydrate and energy, because we know that we're kind of more on the paleo primal ketogenic diets, but it's those crucial phytochemicals, many of which are inside the cellulose fiber of the plant.
Right.
And which may not be in the plants anymore anyway.
Well, the phytochemicals are there, and that's part of the benefits, as you said, because we're low on, and because we don't absorb our amino acids, we're lower on our glutathione, which is our internal antioxidant. What is it? Catalase, glutathione, and SOD are kind of our internal self-generated antioxidants. We've got to get them from these plant foods.
Right. And you look at people, another big problem with people is macular degeneration now. Yeah. Like there's tons of older people that they can't see and their eyes degenerate. And they need enough, if they have enough zeaxanthin, lutein in their eyes in order to combat these things, and they don't. And one of the things to help them is they can supplement with this stuff and they can rebuild their eye structure. They need amino acids to do that too.
Yes, the phytochemicals and the amino acids, those are all really great tips.
So if somebody want to get a hold of you, David, why don't you give us a phone number?
For body health, it's go to bodyhealth.com. Okay. For the clinic, it's LifeWorks Wellness Center or lifeworkswellnesscenter.com. That phone number is 727-466-6789. We're here local in Clearwater. We see people who want health restoration. A lot of the people we see are really sick people. They have cancer, Parkinson's, autoimmune disease. They've been there's nothing more we can do to help you. Those are the patients that we help.
Well, I really appreciate you being on here to explain the amino acids for me, because it's always confusing for me, and I think you've shed a light on it. I really do appreciate it.
Great.
Always valuable to have you here.
Thanks.
Thanks for sticking around, folks. We'll see you in the next show. Bye-bye.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
You're watching Tiger TV.